U.S., China agree on framework to de-escalate trade tensions.
PM Pham Minh Chinh meets with President of French National Assembly.
Solar power, the trend of using green energy sources.
Hello everyone, you're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Tan. Let's get started. After 2 days of intense negotiations in London, China and U.S. officials have reached a framework agreement. This is a big step toward reducing trade tensions between the two biggest economies.
American and Chinese negotiators agreed in principle to a framework on how to implement the consensus reached by the previous round of talks in Geneva last month, and a phone call between the two countries' leaders last week. The framework agreement is expected to create a premise for resolving key issues such as rare earth exports and magnet production. At the end of the meeting, the U.S. delegation expressed optimism about the negotiation process, although the agreement still needs to be ratified at the leadership level, while the Chinese side appreciated the professional and frank spirit of the dialogue and emphasized the hope of building trust between the two sides. The results of the negotiations mark a positive development in the tense trade war between the world's two largest economies in recent weeks.
On Tuesday, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass announced a nighttime curfew in the downtown area because of ongoing protests against the Trump administration's immigration policies.
The curfew ran from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Wednesday within a 2.5 square kilometer area in downtown Los Angeles. Protests against federal immigration officers arresting illegal immigrants broke out in Los Angeles on June 6th and have become increasingly intense, especially after President Donald Trump sent 4,000 National Guard troops to Los Angeles. Yesterday, hundreds of U.S. Marines continued to be deployed to the hot spot of Los Angeles to be ready to restore order. President Donald Trump accused someone of pulling the strings of the protests, but has not provided any specific evidence.
Following bilateral activities in Paris, France, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh met with President of the French National Assembly.
At the meeting, the two leaders reviewed the important cooperation results between the two national assemblies, affirming that this is a vivid demonstration of the closeness and effectiveness in the legislative relations between the two countries. The two sides agreed to maintain exchanges of high-level delegations and between specialized committees, friendship parliamentarians groups, female parliamentarians groups, and young parliamentarians groups. The Prime Minister called on France to soon ratify the EU-Vietnam Investment Protection Agreement, EVIPA. On the multilateral level, the two sides will strengthen coordination and mutual support at interparliamentary forums such as the IPU and the Francophone Parliament, together promoting sustainable development goals for common interests and regional peace.
Coming up next are some updated news.
The Standing Committee of Nghệ An Provincial Party Committee agreed to establish Jo Long 2 Industrial Cluster in Nghee Lam Commune, Nghee Loc District, with a total investment of nearly VND 950 billion, covering an area of about 75 hectares, operating period of 50 years. The project is planned as a multi-industry industrial cluster, prioritizing attracting clean, environmentally friendly sectors such as production of electronic components, electrical equipment, precision mechanics, textiles, wooden furniture, and construction materials. The industrial cluster will be invested in synchronous technical infrastructure in the direction of modernity, green, cleanness, ensuring the production and business activities of enterprises in the industrial cluster are favorable and stable.
On June 11th, Nghệ An Provincial People's Committee held a ceremony to launch the Digital Education for All movement and open the electronic information portal to implement Resolution 57. This is a milestone affirming the high determination of the entire political system and the entire society of the province in pioneering digital transformation, developing science, technology, and innovation. Resolution 57 of the Politburo is a macro-strategic blueprint, setting out a historic mission. Digital transformation is not only a tool, but also become the main driving force. Science and technology are not only specialized fields, but it must be integrated into every policy, every industry, every locality. Nghệ An also identified this as an opportunity to make a breakthrough, to unleash human potential, narrow the development gap, build a digital government, digital economy, digital society to serve people better.
The atmosphere in Nha Trang City, Can Hoa province these days is extremely vibrant with the 2025 Nha Trang Sea Cultural and Tourism Festival. Professional, modern, dynamic outdoor cultural and artistic performances are constantly affirming a youthful city, a friendly, attractive, and sustainable destination. With more than 20 flower floats from localities, agencies, units in the province, nearly 1,000 artists, actors, students, and people participating, the Carnival Parade program has brought a brilliant space, rich in the colors of sea and island culture. The summer festival program is still continuing in June, promising to make Nha Trang colorful, rich in indigenous and modern.
Rooftop solar power has been used for years. Recently, the government introduced a policy to promote clean, sustainable energy and ease the burden on the national power grid. In response, many households and businesses in Nghệ An province have started researching and investing in solar systems, as the move toward green energy is proving to be very beneficial.
Like many households concerned about the cost of electricity that can be up to several million VND per month, Ms. Nguyen Thi Hien in Ingi Pu Ward, Vinh City, decided to install rooftop solar power, investing in 10 kW panels, along with power storage equipment, so her family does not have to use grid electricity.
I have installed solar power for more than 3 months. I find it very effective during the hot season. When there is a grid problem, there is backup power.
Operating in the field of ship repair and construction, in recent years, Hai Chao one-member Kutsiers Leltid has applied the solution of installing frequency converters and investing in energy-saving machinery and equipment. However, the monthly electricity bill is still around 50 million VND. Therefore, the unit is surveying to install a solar power system, Phase 1 with a capacity of 100 kWh.
The company proactively installed solar power to help relieve times of power shortages. Renewable natural electricity does not affect the environment.
Rooftop solar power helps owners reduce grid power consumption or no longer have to buy electricity. According to service units, the government issued Decree 58 in 2025 to create a favorable corridor, expanding the development of renewable energy. Therefore, recently many organizations and households have invested in solar power.
We install a lot of solar energy equipment for people as well as in industrial systems. The power grid in Central Region is overloaded, so customers respond positively when using solar power.
According to a recent survey, Nghệ An is assessed to have great potential for developing rooftop solar power. The average number of sunshine hours is about 1,700 to 2,000 hours per year. The amount of radiation is 4.73 kWh per square meter per day. Therefore, it is completely possible to invest in equipment to effectively exploit this endless resource, contributing to ensuring energy security, saving grid electricity costs for units, businesses, and individuals.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.